playtest, giving players a chance to try the game before release. And these playtest details actually tell us quite a lot about what systems are being tested and where the game currently sits in development. Howdy everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm Vinare Gaming and I cover MMOs, news and discussion. If you're interested in staying up to date with upcoming MMO releases and discussions around the genre, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we're taking a look at Scars of Honor, and we're going to break down everything on the playtest page, including what players will actually be able to test, how to sign up, and what this might tell us about where the game is in development. For anyone who hasn't come across it yet, Scars of Honor is an upcoming fantasy MMORPG being developed by Beast Burst Entertainment. The game leans heavily into more traditional MMO design. We're talking about a persistent open world, faction conflicts, PvE and PvP content, and systems designed around guild play and community interaction. From what we've seen so far, the developers are aiming for something that feels closer to a classic MMORPG experience, where exploration, player cooperation, and large-scale encounters are central to the game. And that type of design is exactly why playtests like this are so important. The developers have opened up registrations for a new playtest beginning on the 30th of April, running through to the 11th of March, which players can sign up for through the official Steam page. The goal of this playtest is to bring real players into the game, so the team can test how the core systems perform when actual players start interacting with them. For MMORPGs, this is a critical stage of development. Internal testing can only reveal so much, but once hundreds or thousands of players enter the world, developers can begin to see how things behave under real conditions. That includes things like server performance, combat balance, progression pacing, and general gameplay flow. According to the test page, players will get access to parts of the game world where they can explore and interact with several of those core systems. Firstly, the Scars Head website states that 4 races will be available to try: humans, dwarves, undead, and infernal demons, and 4 classes: paladin, mage, ranger, and druid. It will be interesting to see the progress of the class skill trees, which is somewhat divided into a subclass of sorts, though they have indicated that these are not 100% subclasses and instead directions on the skill tree for players to focus on. In terms of combat, players can try out the hybrid combat with tab targeting and skill shots, a flexible talent system with full respec, and the scar system, which are permanent changes to your abilities and playstyle. There will also be crafting and gathering to test their interactive minigames. Additionally, the Crypt of the Fallen, the game's first dungeon revealed, will be available for testing, using the game's procedural generation. Lastly, there will also be open world PvP, a 5v5 battleground, and an arena with 1v1v1 and 2v2v2. Now, obviously the purpose here isn't to necessarily show the entire game. Instead, the developers are focusing on testing core gameplay loops and gathering feedback on how these systems feel in practice. For MMOs, that feedback can be incredibly valuable because players often approach systems in ways developers didn't anticipate. If you're interested in trying the game yourself, signing up is fairly straightforward. And I've included a link to the official Steam page detailing all the information you need to know, but a quick rundown is that you will need to use the Request Access button on the page and wait until April 30th when it opens. Typically with playtests like this, invitations are sent out in waves, so signing up doesn't immediately guarantee access, but it does put you in the pool for potential invites once testing begins. And if you're someone who enjoys seeing MMORPGs during development, playtests like this are one of the best ways to see how a game is evolving before launch. The fact that Scars of Honor is running a playtest suggests the project is continuing to move forward in its development cycle. Public testing phases usually mean the developers are confident enough in the core systems to start exposing them to players and gathering larger scale feedback. That doesn't necessarily mean the game is close to release, but it does show the development process is progressing. And for MMO players, these early tests can sometimes give us the first real look at how a game actually feels to play. Playtests are always an interesting moment in the life of an MMO. Sometimes they reveal systems that feel really promising. Other times they show us areas where the game still needs quite a bit of work. But either way, they give us a clearer picture of where a project currently stands. If you're planning on signing up for the Scars of Honor playtest, I'd be interested to hear what you think about the game so far. Do you think this could turn into a solid MMO experience? Or is it just too early to tell? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy following upcoming MMORPGs in the future and the future of the genre, make sure to subscribe because we'll be covering more playtests, announcements, and MMO development updates here on the channel. Stay gaming, and I'll see you guys next time.